What it is now 2025. And again, we are back at it, right? We're gonna do our thing. Like I said, three guys came together organically to talk about sports from a novice point of view. Like I said, we got the Novice Sports Show. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave some comments. Our catchphrase is, you might just read it. Then again, we probably won't. We don't know because we got jobs. But nonetheless, we go to jump into our intros here. We got my man
AJ.
and we got
Jay.
A-Dub. So we've been gone for a minute, living a high life, traveling, eating caviar, living off yachts, doing what we want to do. But again, we back at it here in 25. And we've been hearing a lot of noise about football, basketball, but last night, late in the midnight hour, the Cowboys tried to turn it around.
We shocked the world, baby.
And they shocked the world. They shocked the world. And they decided to say, you know what? Nobody wants to come here to be our coach. So we're just going to hire Marty's son, who Jerry thinks is Marty, and we're going to turn it around. So what you got on that, fellas?
So let's just look where we are right now, right?
Horrible.
On one hand, you got the Eagles and the upstart Commanders battling for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You got the Giants changing things around. They got the number 3 pick, got a chance to kind of redo their franchise. And then you got the Cowboys. What do? We're not doing nothing.
Here we go.
We wait.
What do we do? Wait a minute. First thing we do is we fire our coach.
But we don't do it when we could have. We do it after everybody else is already gone, and we couldn't interview, and we couldn't do this, couldn't do that. So we wait and wait and wait, and then we let everybody get who they want, but we outsmart them. Because Jerry is crazy like a fox, right? And when everybody's thinking, well, maybe they're going to get Dion, maybe they're going to get Belichick, maybe they're going to get Tom Landry out of the grave. Who knows?
Pick him up.
What did we do? We said, no, we're going to get the guy nobody wants. I forgot he was even on the daggone coaching staff. And evidently, so did everybody else, because he's an offensive coordinator who doesn't call plays. Don't know if he's ever called plays.
Well, he did call plays at Seattle, so he did.
Seattle, okay, gotcha.
So he had a good stint at Seattle.
Okay, gotcha.
Where that was the year Russ was in the running for the MVP. Russ had 40 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. So
what happened to
that? He left
to go.
He left to go somewhere.
Get a head coaching job?
No.
To get a better offensive coordinator? Sounds like he's been going backwards till now, because now he's hit the golden ticket.
Yeah,
because he's now the coach of America's team, the most valuable franchise in all of team sports.
Yep.
And it's up to him, Brian Schottenheimer, to bring us back from the dead.
Well,
let's go.
Like I said, you heard it here first. I got Dallas winning 6 games next year, having a top 5 pick. And the next year after that, we'll probably get a top 6 pick. I don't see us with this particular coaching change. I don't see us, elevating into the ranks of where Washington is, where Philly is right now, because even though we got a new coach, they're not going to help them. They're not going to give them anything. They're not, same thing with the Cowboys. We're going to sign a guy who was just delivering trash, who was a first round pick in 1979, and say, yeah, that was a good signing. Like, bro, he ain't played football in 15 years. What? Yeah, but he's going to be great. And then, of course, we'll cut him. 6 weeks in and say, yeah, that didn't work out. I'm like, yeah, he ain't played football in 6 weeks. But anyway, so I don't see Jerry, as he would say, his risk-taking days, I think, are over. Like I said, all the coaches we could have had, again, Aaron Glenn, you could have had Aaron Glenn, you could have had Mike Grable, you could have had, who else?
Ben
Ben
Johnson.
Johnson. You had all these other offensive minds who could have come in and they could have interviewed. I mean, they even interviewed Robert Saleh, which I think they just did that for the Rooney Rule. But again, all the losses that we've had on our coaching staff, and like you always said, we sit around and they sit around and wait.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand.
Instead of saying, you know what, your contract's expiring, we're firing you at the end of the season. That's it. Just let it go. Look, then you start your interview process a couple of days before the end of the season because you can start because there's other coaches. There's only a few coaches you can't interview, and those are the ones that are in the playoffs.
Right.
Right. But if you submit, hey, I want to interview you before the playoffs start, then they say, yeah, we'll come by next Friday. We could do a Zoom call. We ain't do none of that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Schottenheimer that even put him on like the radar.
Right.
Like what is it that I just don't understand. Like did Jerry think that our team
First of all, did he even think?
Here we go.
Listen,
Here we go. Look here.
I'm the biggest Jerry supporter of most Cowboys. Like I try to like give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you know what? He's got to know a little bit of what he's doing because his franchise is the most valuable in the world. 30 years ago, we won a lot of Super Bowls. He brings in talent through the draft. Like we've done a good job drafting. And until last year, we've had 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row where we were 12-5 or 13-4. Like it's not like we're putting up 3-14 records,
We
right?
need to get better.
So it's like I don't know if I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like last year's team, the egg we laid in the playoffs at home, we hadn't lost a home game in 2 years. And we get in the playoffs against the Packers and we play like
we never been there.
And so to me, I don't necessarily put that on the talent of the players. I put it on something missing, and I put it on coaching.
Okay.
Well, see,
That we can't get the talent to do what they got to do in the biggest moment.
But a lot of that is okay. So to address your first point, where did Shotty come from, right? Because he's been on the staff since 2021 as an analyst. He was an offensive analyst first, and then Kellen left and he became the OC. But again, Mike was calling plays, so he put together the game plan. But it was Mike's offense, not his. So he's going to bring in somebody that runs his offense, which is the same offense that they ran in Seattle. But
so he's still not going to call plays?
I don't think he's going to call plays. I mean, I don't know. Right now, we don't know who the offensive coordinator is. We literally just got a DC last night, and we just got our head coach last night. So they got to fill out the rest of the staff because everybody's contract they don't fire anybody. They just let your contract expire and don't call you back, which makes absence. So we've lost what's the black, not black, he went to Chicago. So he's in Chicago. Fossil went to the Titans. So, we're losing a lot of coaching talent too. So, that's why I say it's going to be a bad year. But from the inside rumblings, when they were interviewing people, they said it was a Jerry Jones Jr. They said it was his idea. It was the son's idea to say, look, let's go ahead and just bring him in. And Jerry was like, no, I want somebody else. And they were like, we ain't getting nobody else.
He wanted to bring in Steve wanted to bring in who?
No, that's what Steven wanted. It was Steven and the rest of the Suns' idea to bring in Schottenheimer.
Okay.
To say, look, he's already on staff. We're already familiar with him because Jerry and his son Steven, they love familiarity.
Yeah, that's true.
They love familiarity.
They're not going to shake it up too much.
Yeah, they're not going to go. If Dion or Belichick was coming, okay, that's different, but they ain't coming. you know, of course, they got all the press they wanted with Dion and Belichick. Well, I haven't signed my contract yet. Ooh, maybe. No, you're not coming to Dallas. Just go ahead and ink your, you know, deal with UNC and okay, you're not
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
college, buddy. Just come on, you know, get Colorado was under pressure, so they went ahead and they gave him more money to stay, and that left Dallas where because we were playing the marketing game instead of getting, hey, you had Rob. I mean, you interviewed. They didn't interview Rabel. They interviewed Sala, Leslie Frazier, and a couple other people. And I'm going, what? You're not going to interview any of the hottest coordinators?
So here's one thing that I will say. I've never been a big fan of like the hot coordinator always gets a job.
Yeah.
How often does that hot coordinator end up being a great coach? Like not as often as you would think, right?
No.
And so like I don't really have an issue with like not getting
Well, he's not a
whoever. But my issue is just I feel like we're the Cowboys, right?
Did we
We
get the
should
bang
get
for our buck?
we should get who we want. Whoever we want, we should be able to get, right? Because we are the Cowboys.
Should.
So I'm like,
But see, but
I feel
that's
like we didn't
see,
like
but that is the
know that.
downfall, right? See, and that's what Jerry believes, and that's what Steven believes, because we are the Cowboys. We should get what we want. But winning is king.
We win.
Not winning. What we say about that? Regular season's great. But how many rings you got?
Yeah, but
And when's the
nobody.
last hold up? And when's the last time we got one?
But that's what I'm saying though. Nobody's getting rings. The Chiefs are eating,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
nobody else is eating.
But they eating.
The Chiefs.
The
Look,
Chiefs are
other
eating.
other
Hold
than
on. The Chiefs and the Eagles, at least they contention. And we call it boys. The San Francisco 49ers are relevant.
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying though. They fell off the earth and what's the 49ers coach?
Oh, Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Yeah.
He has nothing to show but a loss
Yeah.
and a couple of you know what I'm saying?
Couple
Like I would love
losses.
to I would love to get there, right? We haven't
lose.
been there.
Get there and lose. I
But-
thought that too.
Nobody's, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, did we get the coach at the beginning of the season? If you'd asked Jerry, okay, McCarthy's about to go, who would you want?
No, that's not.
I don't know that he.
No, that was not. I mean, I'll go out on a limb here and it'll probably be like 99% sure, but no, I'm sure that's not the coach he wanted.
Right.
I can get, I mean,
I don't know who he wanted, but this
yeah,
it can't.
it's not him.
Surely
because-
wasn't this.
And you can tell it wasn't who they wanted because of the way they announced it, right? Remember when we fired Jason Garrett and we hired Mike McCarthy, he made the announcement in the middle of the Philadelphia football playoff game.
Right.
Just to steal.
Yeah, just
views,
some of their thunder. Yeah.
right now, what you can tell again, he did not like this hire because they announced it like overnight, like it was the
Like
word
swept
a
it under the
secret.
rug, yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, we hired somebody, but we don't want y'all to know who we hired.
But everybody's been talking about nothing but who the Cowboys are going to hire for
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Jerry got his press like he always wants.
Yep.
Because that's all anybody's been talking about, even during the playoffs. Who are they going to get? And then floating Dion out there. Ooh,
Yeah.
who are they going to get Dion? The talk shows talked about,
All
he's
day.
going, he's doing it.
Dion's not coming. But then, like I would love. We talked about this before. You weren't here. I said I would love to have Dion there, but I want him to be extremely successful.
Sure.
Not only because I'm a Cowboy fan, but you're taking a black guy and you're putting him in charge of the most powerful or most popular franchise in the world. So I would want Dion, to be super successful. And I'm not talking 12-5. I'm talking 13-3 Super Bowl, 13-3 Super Bowl. That's what I want for him and our franchise.
I mean,
know
look,
that's unrealistic.
I want that for Schottenheimer. Heck, what can we say? I hope he
No, I'm
turns.
just saying.
Hey, I hope he turns into freaking the next big Bill
Well,
Belichick.
Well, see, that's
And 10 years from now, we look back.
so what
Jerry out of the grave is gonna be like, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I told you.
and of course, when you on that point, the fan base basically said, because they all went off last
Oh yeah,
night.
they're not happy.
They were not happy, and everybody was like, "Hold your horses. This guy might be better, than we think."
Mhm.
And again, in the back of my mind, I'm going, "Did Jerry call you?"
Right.
Hey, you
Did
know
Gary
what?
call you and say this? Tell you to say this?
You know what the one thing this did
Oh
for
my
us?
Lord! What?
It lowered
Oh,
expectations.
it dropped. Oh, we
So we ain't talking about Super Bowl now.
Hell.
If we end up with 9 wins, everybody's
Wild card
yeah,
game.
baby, we're back.
Wow, man! Look,
If we can make man,
don't speak ill of the dead. Wild card. What's that?
Hey.
What do you say? Playoffs.
Yeah.
What do you say? Playoffs.
hey,
What?
those of you that are fans of the betting game, get in early with your Cowboys to the Super Bowl pick. Because they were talking about people, the Commanders
Yeah.
have like one of the lowest odds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anybody that went in early on them
They get
is
paid.
getting paid if they can,
Whoa.
but jump on the Cowboys. Matter of fact,
Let's see what the odds are now. Look, I already told you what my pick is.
Cowboys for the Super Bowl. I'm putting
Look.
some money in there.
I'm not putting any money on that. I'll put money Cowboys under 6 for the year. That's what I'm
Let's
putting.
go.
Speaking of the playoffs, like, what do we have going on? What do we have
Well,
going on?
well, of course, the surprise of the playoffs, of course, are the darling, and again, and then they have not been relevant in God,
Long time.
since Joe Gibbs and the Hogs and God, I can't remember his name, Riggins, Theismann, what was it Doug Williams and Mark Clayton and Duper and my favorite Tootsie Roll, 5'8", 4'2", man. I mean, like I said, so I know if you're Washington fans, shout out to y'all. I'm not gonna be, I'm a Dallas fan. Everybody knows that. I am not the guy that said, you don't deserve it. They deserve this. They really do. Like I said, but he is, the story is this guy came out of nowhere, had struggles at LSU, transferred. I think he transferred somewhere.
No, other way around. He ended up
No,
at LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah,
transferred
from Arizona State.
Yeah, he transferred from L, and everybody
They
was
said he was
giving him
sorry. They
grief.
say he was sorry.
And yeah, said he was sorry. He was horrible. So he transferred to LSU, won the Heisman. Now he is just tearing up the league, literally. And so we go, wow. So that is the darling story that for the NFL. Great for the Washington Commanders. I keep calling them their other name. Sorry, I'm just an old guy.
But if y'all do lose, it does feel worth the wait.
Oh, but think about it. They
To think
went
that you're
from
about to get there
yeah, but
and
think
then
about
lose
it.
it.
They went from the bottom of the barrel. I mean, and I said when I say bottom,
No,
bottom,
yeah.
bottom. I mean, nobody was thinking about them. Not even when they made these changes and they got Dan Quinn. I even said they 2 years away. I didn't say they were 9 months away.
Right.
They literally turned it around in less than 9 months, right? Because he got hired right about this time last year.
Mhm.
Season starts. So literally in about 7.5, 8 months, they've turned around the whole culture with the quarterback. Everybody's buying in. The defense, everybody's buying in, and they are they are literally the one game away
Being in the Super
from
Bowl.
being in the Super Bowl with a super young team. And as AJ always says, their window is wide open
Oh, yeah.
for the next 5 years.
This will be the first time a rookie makes it to the Super Bowl if it happens.
Oh no,
Nope.
that would be Dan Marino.
He wasn't a rookie.
I thought remember was
Second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah. But I think this is
Oh,
it'll be the
because Hurts
first.
had the chance, right? Didn't Hurts have? He had the chance. I know he didn't do
He
it.
wasn't a rookie that year though.
Was he second year too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But okay, I'm gonna throw
There we go.
some water on the Commanders' flame because that's what I do. I like Jaden Daniels. I hate to admit it, I really like him. Like his demeanor, he's so daggone. He doesn't get flustered. But remember last year, everybody was talking about, and they wasn't actually, yeah. Last year, who was everybody talking about as a rookie quarterback that brought a team that was horrible to heights? Nope. CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's doing things nobody's ever done. Blah 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 blah. This year he had a little step back, right?
He had a lot of injuries too.
Jaden is riding high.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Things looking great.
Yeah.
But think back, I don't know, it's probably been 10 years now. Another rookie quarterback that I think they took with the number 2 pick, who was the rookie of the year, lighting it up, Mr. RG3.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was one injury and it ruined his career.
Running around.
So, you know, last year they talked about Jordan Love. Now he wasn't a rookie, but it's really his first time starting.
Yeah.
Since Aaron,
Oh,
since your boy let him play.
yeah. But everybody was talking about, oh, Jordan Love's a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
Basically off of what they did to us in the playoffs and the last like 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
What did he do this year? Not a whole lot.
Nothing.
CJ Stroud, oh, doing things a rookie's never done. He's a top 5 quarterback. Had a little setback this year. Not all his fault, but he didn't play as well as he did last year.
Right. And they
So-
just got rid of their offensive coordinator.
Who?
Texas.
Texas, they just did, or they did lose them or get rid of them?
No, they got rid of him. I think they fired him.
Yeah, they fired offense or defense, one of them.
Yeah, it was the offensive coordinator. They fired him because I think CJ Stroud averaged 219 yards per game, but last year he averaged like 270.
So they're blaming him for it, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, so I'm just saying, Jaden is doing a great job this year. They caught lightning in a bottle, but let's not crown him quite yet
Right.
as the great. No, I'm not saying anybody else would do
Yeah.
it, but people are already saying he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I'm like, pump your brakes a
long
little
way to
bit.
go.
Okay,
Pump your brakes a little bit.
What do we always say?
You gotta do it again.
Not with the game. What we always say, once they get tape and they know your tendencies, it's what they do in the second year, right? Because nobody's going to be. See, remember? Okay, so we're gonna use Philly because they're playing against Philly. When you have a younger quarterback who likes to run around, right? That's what they do because that every defense hates the running quarterback because it's hard to account for him, and you don't know if when he's running toward the line and he may pull him a homie where he's think about sliding and don't. And he's all of a sudden he's run 50, 60 yards. All right. So once you get hit a couple times and they realize you like flush him to the right and he'll run, then they say, but he runs to the left, it's different. Or when he likes to read XYZ. So we're going to take this part of the field away and make him read this way. By the time he gets the one to pop, he's going to get hit. So again, with the film study that they do on Jaden will be one of those things that comes up because again, he has the wheels right now to say, okay, I can extend the play. I'm going to run outside the pocket. I'm going to do whatever. But next year, just like they did with Jalen Hurts, after you get popped a couple times, they're going to say, look, bro, you ain't a running back. You're a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, when you tuck that ball.
And he don't run very strong.
He's a lot better passer than Jalen Hurts.
He don't.
I'm just saying though, but that's what happened. But that's when you look at the game against the Rams, when they ran the read option, literally, and the cornerback runs this way, and I'm like, what is he doing? Because there's nobody over here, so Jayden just runs right out to the first down. And once they did that, game was over. Because now you're at the 30-yard line. There's 30 seconds left because that was 4th and 1. I'm like, you stop them. Now they got to kick a 50-yard field goal versus a 25-yard field goal. So I want, but anyway, we said all that to say, when they get the tape on you and they get your tendencies, how will he be? Because again, think about it. CJ Stroud, last year in the playoff game, they loaded the box and they made CJ beat them. And he couldn't make the throws. Now, I don't know if you can do that with Jayden, right? Because he is a better passer.
Yeah.
And he relies on his legs not as much. So that's going to be the kicker. How do you beat them? I think in order to beat Washington, what you have to do is you make their defense stay on the field longer. So you're going to have long, sustainable drives, grind out the ball, because again, Philly's got the best O-line.
I'm about to say, what you can.
Philly can do that, and they got Saquon, so they're going to grind it out and keep them off the field.
Here's a stat though with when Washington played the Eagles twice this year.
Okay, yeah.
He had like 26 carries, if I'm not mistaken.
You talking about Saquon?
Yeah.
Okay.
For less than 2 yards.
Yeah.
He had 3 carries for like 150 yards, which means he broke a 40-yarder, a 60-yarder, and a 30-yarder.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Saquon is you might bother him. He's almost like Barry Sanders was, right? 2-yard gain, 4-yard gain, 15-yard gain, 3-yard gain, 1-yard loss, 50-yard touchdown.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, can you sustain that? And I think the Eagles clearly have a better. They have a better roster. They have a better team.
They do.
They got offensive line,
Mhm.
defensive line.
Mhm.
Jalen Carter.
I was just about to
is a
say him.
monster.
Yeah.
Get your hands on Jay.
Yeah. Now, if it comes down to a shootout,
Oh,
Eagles are going to be in trouble
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shootout.
because Hurts is hurt.
He is. Yep.
He's
His
not,
knee,
so,
right?
so he's hobbled a little bit, right? We don't know how well he's going to be able to move around.
Running quarterback.
His passing has not been on point yet this year,
I
really.
thought the last game he passed pretty well. In the conditions that
short passes. He wasn't dropping.
it was a few. Brown dropped a few.
Well, they don't like each other anyway. So
I don't-
they keep
I don't
trying to
see
play,
how.
look. They keep trying to play that role, but they don't like each other.
But yeah, so if the Eagles can get out
Yeah.
in front and run the ball and keep the, Commanders in like obvious, like passing down, I think they're going to have a pretty,
What are the conditions for the game?
it'll
It's
be
going to be
fine.
like this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to be. They're playing in
Okay,
Philly.
okay.
It's going to be like
Yeah.
46 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't
It won't
think
be
they
cold.
have, it'll
I
be,
mean, it's. I mean, it's
weather
not-
won't be a factor.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's not. Like I said, but that's the young story. Like I said, and it kind of again, they
Well, before we even jump to another team or another aspect of it, if Jaden wins,
Oh.
what does that do? But if Jalen beats Jaden,
okay.
what does that do?
Okay, so if let's say Washington wins the game, what that does is now he will be the first, I think, real rookie quarterback to be in the Super Bowl. What that does now says is, okay, I think he's like the heir apparent to the Mahomes effect.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because remember, Mahomes is like awesome right now. I think this sets him up for that battle. Right now, it's going to be okay, Jaden against Mahomes, because everybody's going to make that assumption, but it's going to be 1-2 for now. Right, so now he has to. We said when you're playing with house money, it's easy, but when the pressure is on, what are you going to do? So I'm not going to say it's going to create his legacy, but this will be the beginning of his legacy
Okay.
if he moves into that slot. Like I said, but getting to the Super Bowl is not an easy task.
Right.
A lot of people have gone once and never gone
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Look,
So-
like I said, look at Dan Marino, right?
Dan Marino went once,
Went early, never saw it
never
again.
saw it again.
Aaron Rodgers went once,
Right.
Once.
never
Right.
saw it again.
So
It's tough.
Yeah.
And so speaking of quarterbacks, so Mahomes is definitely, in a league of his own based on what he's doing. And then, I think everybody kind of has,
Everybody else just follows him.
Lamar, Josh, probably Joe Burrow as the next three, as far as like
Yeah.
those for the top four quarterbacks.
he jacked Dak for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but
Sorry, Dak.
but everybody else I think is fighting for next. So again, I think you got to do it more than 1 year.
Yeah.
So even if the pressure, Jaden is playing, like you said, playing with house money.
Yeah.
The pressure is all on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because if they don't
Win.
win, the people are gonna come down on the coach. They're gonna come down on Hurts. They're gonna start talking about
Kellen
what's wrong
Moore.
with
Yeah. What's wrong with the Eagles?
what's wrong with
The relationships within the team.
exactly
Yeah.
all that's gonna be out there.
But if he does win, what happens?
For who, Jalen?
For
Jalen Hurts?
That's
Well, I don't think it really does much for him. Because, okay.
Because he was there against,
well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be-
hypothetically, if it is Mahomes again,
yeah,
he
so-
was
so
there
he-
with.
He was already there with him, but you gotta remember, okay, the Eagles on paper have a better team than Washington at almost every position, literally. I mean, that's better tight end. They have a better tight end. They got a better receiving core. Literally, you got, what's his name? Brown, you got Smith.
Devontae Smith.
So you
Brown.
got two number ones right there. You ain't got but one receiver for Washington, and the guy
Terry.
you got Scary Terry, and you got the other guy, the receiver number 2, who's from Charlotte, who I just found out this week. So he's
Really?
actually
Okay.
he's from North Carolina.
I like his tight end. I like the tight end too.
But that's Zach Ertz.
Hurts. Yeah, I
Ertz
like
was a
Hurts.
former Eagle.
yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of him when he
Yeah.
was, they're like, it's time to go. We're not going to pay you. So on paper, the pressure is going to be on the Eagles to win this game. But like I said, I don't think it does anything for Hurts in my mind because of the team he has. Now, if he'd had a lesser team and he was doing this, yeah, but when you got the best O-line, the best
Mhm.
running back, the best receiving core, I think about it like Purdy, right? What did we say about Purdy when he was doing all those things? Sir, you got McCaffrey, you got Debo, you got Ayuk,
You got Arsenal back.
you got
there, right?
Arsenal,
You
and
just got to just throw the ball off.
yeah, all you gotta do is either hand it off or dump it off short.
the-
But here's the thing, though. You
Mhm.
still nobody when you
Mhm.
look back in history, nobody goes back and takes that away from the quarterback
Right,
because your
right.
team was better.
Better, right.
They take if you lose, you're dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you win, you were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Jalen is supposed to win.
Yeah.
And the fact that his team is better,
Yeah.
if they lose, he's gonna get the blame
Yeah.
For sure.
because that's what the quarterback always gets.
Now, how much do you think they're supposed to be winning by, in y'all's opinion?
I think it should
I
be
Blowout?
No, I don't think it'll be. I think it's going to be at least a 10-point game.
Okay.
I mean, that's to be decent. I mean, because they played each other really tough. And I mean, it wasn't like it was a blowout.
Right.
It was tough. It came down to the last couple possessions. So I think it's going to be the same way.
Okay.
I don't think I mean, last week were the blowouts where you had people just run up and down. I mean, that happens and everybody was like, really?
Because
We
what
wasted
if
money for this?
the Commanders really start running up the score against the Eagles?
Yeah, well, if they do, then
it's gonna be look, if they start scoring blah 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 like they did last week,
over.
it's gonna be tough for the Eagles
the Eagles
because
don't have explosive
because
offense. like
yeah,
that.
they if they just say, Jalen, you got to throw the ball 40 times,
No,
they're in
no,
trouble.
They're going to lose. that
They're in
game.
trouble.
And what about on the other side? You got Allen versus Patty.
This is
Well, I think that's going to be fun. Especially I
I think that's going to be a shootout. People don't have that game as a high scoring game, but
I mean, it's going to be a shootout because I hate to say this, but them Bills is like running on all cylinders, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought their undersized defense would have hurt them this year, especially with all the vacancies and all the people. I mean, they lost like linebackers, D linemen. They lost secondary, and they got. I mean,
Guess who had a big play? We
Darvin
talked about him a
the
while
guy with
back.
the heart.
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von had a
Oh,
score.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Almost a scoop and score off of Lamar. Oh my God, I was hurt. So yeah, so I mean, that team right now is running on all cylinders, and again, they're playing against a Kansas City team who's not been playing on all cylinders. And again, like we always say, it's hard to go to the Super Bowl. They've been there twice and won. This is the third year, and then to do a three-peat. I don't think anybody's done a three-peat except in the '70s when the Steelers.
yeah, this is nobody's
So-
done three-peat since before in the modern Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
So like the Packers back before it was called Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
Yeah.
I think they did. But yeah, nobody
Yeah,
nobody
so
in the modern era.
normally you win two, you lose, you win another one, because even the Steelers who got 6,
Yeah.
won 4 in the '70s. Dallas has
last-
got 5, won 3
If
in the 1990s.
if Patty wins
Well, that solidifies them.
against Allen and then goes crazy in the Super Bowl, can he start talking his more?
He already talks smack. I mean,
Yeah,
But can he start being public?
well, this is the thing.
More
This is the thing. Now, so there's already, everybody already has, Brady Mahomes. Like they've already done that. Like they moved Mahomes into 2.
Mhm.
If he gets a three-peat, and then that'd be 4 in what, 6 years
yeah,
or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brady has been 10 times and won 7. So now you start in the LeBron Jordan kind of thing, right?
Start putting them in
Numbers versus like
Like stats or
like
something?
well no, like a three-peat,
Right.
which is something Brady never even got close to doing. But then you look at the totality, 20 years, going 10 times, winning 7.
7 is crazy.
That's crazy, right? So that's when people are going to start, well, would I take Mahomes if it ended now, would I take Mahomes'
Right.
career or
Yeah.
Break.
so that's where Mahomes is in that. He's already a made man. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
Now, the Bills have never won a Super Bowl, have only been to the Super Bowl the 4 times in a row, and they lost it 4 in a row. So, there's a
What
lot of
was it last
pressure.
year that they were there?
When Dallas beat them, or was it when San Fran beat them?
What year is
The
that?
last one, it was in the
In
80s and
the
90s.
90s. So
Okay.
Dallas beat them twice.
Dallas
San-
beat them twice. The Washington beat them once.
And
The
then
Giants beat them once.
Okay.
Yeah, they did not do well.
Yeah, they went 4 years in a row.
Yep.
The first one they really should have won. The next 3 they got blown out.
So what should Allen do?
Well,
How
I
does
mean,
he
it's
need to approach?
Well, he only had 127 yards. People forget that. Last week, he had 127
have
yards
it, man.
passing. So it wasn't like he was out there throwing for 300 yards.
the run game.
Yeah.
And the mistakes.
that Baltimore did.
made. I mean, the drop pass by Henry, because there was nobody in front of him. The
His
fumble.
communication with him and when he threw the interception.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what was it?
He overthrew. He overthrew the
Yeah,
What's the wide receiver's name?
I know.
I can't remember what
But
guy
like
it
Flowers
was.
is the other guy.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bateman.
Bateman, yeah, Bateman. And then you had the fumble that was ran back. Then you had the 2-point conversion that was dropped.
Well, and then the
Well,
fumble.
you got the 2-point conversion that didn't even go through
Yeah,
the
that one
first
too.
time,
Yeah, the first
and
one.
then the drop.
Then the
Yeah, but you had the fumble
The
first.
fumble.
Andrews
Yeah,
fumble.
Andrews
Then the
fumble.
drop.
So yeah, it just seemed like they were out of sync. It was just really weird. I was like, yeah, they're not gonna win this game doing this. I mean, it was a good game, for them to come back and get close and only have like 2 points to lose by. But that's when you go, boy, it's just not in the cards, man. Because I was just really rooting for
Lamar to
for
get one.
Lamar.
Yeah, I was too.
Because I was like, I really want to see him go to the Super Bowl, and I really want to see him win one.
So,
Okay.
so with them having so many mistakes and almost beating the Bills still. Last week, the Texans said that the refs were basically paid off.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
with
look,
Kansas City.
bruh,
So
bruh.
does the Bills even have a chance when it comes to that?
Yeah,
So-
here we go.
Go ahead.
I think when the announcers start seeing it, because folks was like, yo, they were like, really? Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of disagreement.
They were like, yo, come on, man. You can't be dancing on the sideline. Then when somebody hit you, you act like they hit you. Either you step out or you take the hit.
But here's the thing: they didn't call a penalty on that.
No, I'm talking. No,
You could see where Mahomes was trying to get him to,
yeah, but
but they didn't.
But see, there was a play. What was the play where he was running and he just bottled down like he was
Oh, yeah,
sliding into him, and they called roughing the
Well,
passer.
but see,
Like, bruh.
but if you look at that real time, it looked like it was roughing the passer.
It did.
When you look
real
at the
time, yeah.
when you look at the replay,
Slow-mo, then you
you
thought
see that
the
they
Texans
basically
collided.
missed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see why you would call that but if there's a way to review that, you can take that off.
Well, see, but there's no way to review that.
That's what I'm saying.
Once you throw roughing the passer, it's roughing the passer. There's no, we're not picking that flag up.
Gotcha.
Like I said, but he is on that line, because what's going to happen is he's going to be running like somebody going to light him up, but they're going to be like, well, I can't believe you hit the quarterback. He's a runner. So he needs to, because that's what they fixed in college, right?
Yeah.
When they would act like they were going to fake slide and they would keep running.
What's
like,
his name? With the
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he would run and he would act like he would like hit you, and they were like, come on, dude. So if I hit him,
I know the Commanders, it was a
Mhm.
coach, I don't know if it was the defensive coordinator, but he said that we're treating Hurts like a running back.
yeah,
You got to.
So
You
if
have
he wants
to.
to go out there and
Yeah.
run, he's getting hit like a running
Yeah,
back.
you got to. Now
Yeah, but
again,
see, that's
they're
first.
always going to be the NFL is going to protect quarterbacks, and they're especially going to protect your Brady's, your Mahomes
Yeah,
more than anybody, right?
yeah.
But they're also smart enough to know, like Mahomes is good at baiting you into, he's trying to get that extra
Mhm.
little step,
Mhm.
because they know they're going to throw the flag, right? Now, Houston talking about, no, y'all lost that game. I don't want to hear that mess. How about trying to cover Kelsey? Let me know how often the referees affected you leaving
Yeah.
freaking the best tight end in playoff history wide open. So now I want to hear all that. Were there a couple calls? Sure.
Yeah.
Will there always be a couple of them? Yes. But did either of them affect anything?
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't want to hear, sour grapes from the Texans. Y'all lost that game. You weren't winning that game. So stop it with the referees. No, I don't want to hear that. So
But was a bad call.
yeah, it's also bad defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the prediction for tomorrow?
All right. I'm gonna go. Okay. I'll go first. I'm gonna go with an upset.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to upset. I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna beat Mahomie, ending their championship because of what we said before, right? You can't get 3 MVPs in the NBA. Got to give it to somebody else
Okay.
to keep the parity going.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to say Philly is going to beat Washington by 10, and this is where Philly is going to actually go, and they're going to get their second ring.
What's your
Okay.
score? What's your score?
Okay.
Huh?
Predict your score as well. What's your
For
score
who?
for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna say 30-20 for the Philly game. Philly winning. That pains me to say that. Surprised I haven't thrown up yet. Then of course, I'm gonna pick, like I said, I'm gonna pick the Bills and a squeaker by 3. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be 23. I'm gonna say 23-17 or 23-20. Because like I said, that game's gonna be tight.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go Commanders 74, Eagles 73, and I'm going
Shootout.
shootout. And then I'm going a defensive struggle
Uh-huh.
in Kansas City. Chiefs 3, Bills 2.
You said somebody gonna get a safety.
Safety field goal ball game.
What you got? What you got?
I
Shay?
got. Man, I really don't want to go against Hurts. But since we playing with house money,
Yeah.
Commanders are gonna upset the Eagles. I got it 30-14.
Okay, 30.
Ooh, okay,
He said they
okay.
gonna blow him out.
Okay, okay.
He said they gonna run him off the field.
Okay.
Allen versus Mahomes. Gonna sound crazy. I got Mahomes winning.
Okay.
10-7.
10-7.
Ooh, okay.
That's a deal. Look,
Okay,
that's watching like that's gonna be like watching paint dry.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
I'm
deal.
gonna tell you how the game's gonna end though.
What's up?
Okay, so it's 3-2,
All right.
all right? But the Bills are driving. They get in the field goal position.
All right.
Taylor Swift comes in to
Oh,
block
Lord.
the field goal.
She probably gonna make a phone
Okay, why does
call.
that keep happening with the Chiefs?
Number one, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, who's coming in? So it's gonna be like, out. And look around.
Swift,
Yeah.
come on.
They point up to the press box.
the power of the Swift.
They go like this. She comes down with Caitlin Clark.
Oh Lord.
They line Caitlin Clark up on the one end. They put Taylor Swift in the middle. Caitlin comes around to dive.
Mhm.
Swifty, because she's tall, right? She comes up the middle with the block, with the fake extent, the fingernails.
The fingernail gets it.
She blocks it by a nail.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say,
Ball game.
just off my feeling, I do think with the Bills and Kansas City game, there's going to be two crucial calls and one call that's going to change the trajectory of the
Okay.
game.
That's possible. I mean, that look
Like
it is.
one where we're talking about it. for
Okay,
weeks.
okay.
Bruh, it'll be like that pass interference they didn't see in the New Orleans game
Oh wow.
in Minnesota where he mauled them. It'll be the Brady rule where you're like, that's a fumble. No, it's a tuck rule. No, that's a fumble.
Watch.
Look, the ball was popped. Oh, he breathed on him. Wait, or better yet, it'll be like the Dallas tripping play.
Right.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
His own man did that.
Mhm.
No, it's a tripping play. Or better yet, for all us Dallas fans, Dez caught it.
Oh man.
No, he didn't. He caught the ball, took 2 steps, and dove. That's not a good one. Right.
Yeah.
So those are things that we as sports fans look back and go, the
Yeah.
refs are blind. But it's a hard job.
Very hard.
I get it.
Yep.
You don't, but nonetheless, like I said, it's going to be a fun Sunday as we all sit in our
Can't wait.
homes and watch this.
And everybody, like the TV people are rooting hard for the Chiefs.
Yeah, always.
Because even though the Bills are the Cinderella, never made of the little guy, as far as the national audience, they want the Chiefs, they want the Swifties, they want Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, that one's iffy because they like people like Jaden Daniels.
Mhm.
They like the underdog. The Eagles are more the powerhouse. They have the bigger fan base,
Mhm.
Plus it'd be a rematch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
So I think that's who TV wants.
Yeah, they want the
And I think
rematch.
when it comes down to it, that's what they're gonna get.
And then it'll be another story with Kansas City versus the Eagles again.
Yeah. Well, see, it'll be different. I think it'll be different this time. But of course, you can't if they both go. Think about this. The Eagles linebacking core is not one that can cover Kelsey, and that's where they struggle every game. I think Pacheco is going to be the weak link because he's been out for so long. He's not the Pacheco of last year because it takes time to get into mid-season form. But they got Kareem Hunt. So, it'll be a good game. It'll be a tight game if they win. Like I said, I think if it's those two teams, it'll be 13-19.
Okay.
It ain't going to be a blowout because the last couple Super Bowls have not been. They've won by 7 to 10 points.
Yeah.
For each time. So it's been a nail biter. you know, I think the first two Super Bowls, the Chiefs were losing at halftime, and they came back and won because Mahomes started running around doing his thing, and then somebody left Kelsey in the end zone wide open, and they ran that play where they, I mean, literally said, what's his name? I mean, it was that dude was so wide open, it was crazy. When he with that one play where he did this, he came across, stopped, and went back, and nobody went with him. He just tossed in the ball. And he walked in the end
You're
zone.
not talking about Watkins, are you?
No, no, it wasn't Sammy Watkins.
Okay.
It was somebody else.
Okay.
It was some other guy. Some other guy they had. But I can't remember his name. I wasn't Cedric Wilson. No, it was a guy from Boise State. It was a receiver from either SMU or Boise State.
Okay.
Sky Moore.
Okay.
It was Sky Moore who caught the ball, who was wide open because he ran back, and they said we were saving
Oh,
that
yeah, the
play.
motion. Gotcha.
Yeah, the motion that came across, and they did not, the defense did not signal to send it back.
Gotcha.
So they bumped it across, and when he came back, they didn't bump it back out. So he went with
Gotcha.
he walked in the end zone like ha 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 ha. And that's basically how they won the game. But nonetheless, like I said, that would be a great storyline because then they got something to talk about for 2 weeks. You know, of course, we'll get to see all the reruns of the old game because that's what they'll be playing. You know, I hope the Eagles and well, I hope they don't win, Jesus Christ. Woo, because I don't want to see Mr. You like that, or what's his name? Their coach's name, the one that I think is very immature, the Eagles coach.
Sirianni.
Yeah, God, Jesus. Instead, I mean, I want my coach to be a coach. He acts like a kid. Why are you arguing with the fans, man? What's wrong with you? You like that? How about them Cowboys? Okay. Remember, when the shoe's on the other foot, buddy, I hope they rub it in. I hope we beat him by 50 and he loses his job.
Yeah. Oh.
But anyway, I know we got places to go and things to do. We gotta live our champagne lives and caviar dreams, or is it the other way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
caviar.
We are broke.
Yeah.
Ain't no brokey. Hold up, I'm not a brokey. But nonetheless, we're gonna bring this episode. We don't know what episode it is, but it's the first of the year. The Novice Sports Show. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, we up to 20, maybe 4 subscribers. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you, like I said, and the views too. Like I said, the views been up and we ain't even been posting. So thank you. You know, I know we would post more, but we got like daytime jobs. You know, and again, when we make it big, we're gonna remember the first 24 of y'all, maybe those, do something for y'all. The rest of y'all, when we start making our money and get our Maseratis and Lamborghinis, we gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
It's like we gonna be doing things. But anyway, we will get to that point, but we want to grow the show organically. Like I said, we are taking free sponsorships at this point in time. So anybody who wants to give us some money, let us know. We will what's the word? Get my man right here who knows everybody in the city to get you to buy your product.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, 3 guys who came together to talk about sports organically, the Novice Sports Show. We're going to sign off and hope you all have a wonderful Sunday or a wonderful week. We got
AJ.
Jay.
we got A-Dub. Y'all enjoy yourselves.
Peace.